Hey, Kristen Beers, and I am here to teach you a little bit more about picmonkey. Today we're going to work on templates that you can use for if you have a coach announcement for a new coach or a new challenger or a spotlight challenger. But this way you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. You can just use your same template every single time you need to and maybe make a few modifications like add a name. So this is how we're going to do it. Make sure that you are logged into picmonkey.com on your browser. Then you're going to come over to design and you are going to select in this side panel, you're going to select the transparent canvas and you're going to hit apply. So then you can see all the checkboard background on here. That does not show up on your picture. However, that just shows that something is transparent for when you put something over it. So next what you're going to do is you're going to put an overlay over top. So you're going to select the butterfly, please. Then you're going to select your own picture because we're going to add a background. And we are going to use the wooden background. So you'll see it over top, but it doesn't cover my whole picture. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that I'm dragging and covering all of the picture. So you can see everything's covered now. So now what I need to do is I want to create a spot where if I put this over other pictures, you might be able to see the picture underneath. So, and what I mean by that, you'll see shortly as I continue to show you what we do. So I need you to select in the geometric shapes, the circle, please. And you can make it as big or as small as you would like. I like mine slightly bigger. And you want to center it. Then you're going to come over to where it has the editing tool for that certain image. And you can see on the overlay, it says color 1 and color 2. You want to select where it says color 2 and you need to right click. And then you need to click where it says transparent. So now all of a sudden you can see where there's the background through, but I'm still not getting to the transparent part. So what I need to do, but it gives me a nice circle so that I can see what I'm working with. I need you to click on the board image because this is the actual image that we are going to be working with and erasing a part of so you can see the transparent background. So now what you need to do is go over to the eraser and you can change the size of the eraser, how big or small you would like it. I like mine a little bit bigger. Gives me a little bit more so that I can go a little bit faster. You can also work on the edges if you want it harder or softer. I am going to then try to stay as much as I can inside of the line for the circle, but if I go outside of it, it's okay because I have a tool that can fix my own mistakes. And I like to go around first and then go through and fix the major parts, but I like the tedious parts first. So I'm going to show you purposely if I made a mistake. So you see right there that I purposely did that. It could be on purpose that you might make something or just because you want it to be a little more fine-tuned and come back through and paintbrush, or sometimes accidents happen and so you need to be able to fix those kind of issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly fill in the rest of this and I'm going to make it bigger so I can just quickly whip through it. Okay, so now I'm going to come over and I'm going to select the paintbrush. And I want to make sure that I didn't make any mistakes because you can see right there, I nicked it a little bit there too. So you can actually go around the whole thing if you would like, just to make sure. Oops, and see I made the mistake back the other way. And that's how easy it is to make mistake especially if you're using it big. I like it big just because it goes faster, but then you're also opening up the window for making a little bit more mistakes, or the door. As most people know, I tend to biff up my sayings, but at least I get the point across. Okay, so now I'm going to go through and I'm going to erase again, but I'm going to make it a little bit smaller this time. And I got to come over here. Okay, so now what you see is an image that looks like a circle with the checkboard. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that this is a recognition board. So you are going to make sure that you scroll down because you're on the butterfly so you can see all the overlays. And you want to go down to you can either do, if you want, you can just do a rectangle and you can have a banner that way. Or you can delete that and you can actually go down to where they have banners and you can create a banner. And if you want to make it stand out more, you can pick whatever color you would like. I'm actually going to change the color of even the circle because my team likes to use blues because we're anchored and we like to go with the nautical theme a lot. So I'm using a navy, and I'm actually going to go change the background for my banner as well, and it doesn't give me the same option for that exact blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm using what they have is this little ink dropper so that you can actually match up the color. So I'm going to click on the border from the circle, and so you can see how it changed the color of my border. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and you can see where it says a menu where it says I could delete this overlay if I really wanted to, but I don't. I want to duplicate my overlay, and it's already highlighted. I want to change this color, and I'm going to make it more of a Tiffany blue. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So now you can see where it stands out, gives a little bit more dimension, but it also gives almost like a fun arrow shape to things. So I have both of these images, and I can actually duplicate both of these and use them for the bottom as well. Or if I wanted to use the other arrow at this point, I could too. And I like to, like I said, match. I'm slight perfectionist, so I like to match. Maybe a little OCD there, right? So now what you can do is you can go over to where it has the T's. This is where you have fonts, and you can add in some fonts. So I clicked the coffee break, and then you have to hit add text. Then you want to come over and click the font or the typing box and type in what you want to say. So let's say we're doing a coach spotlight. And what I will do then, and you could do anything for this. You could do a challenger spotlight. You could do new coach, whatever you want for a topic. You could put the word there. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Make it to what you need it for. And I'm going to change my color. And again, I could either do white, which I'm going to do for this case. And then I actually paid for the upgraded version. So that's why I have this specific font. It's actually one of the ones that has a crown by it, but you can use any font you would like. And then I'm going to go to effects, which is also part of the paid program. And if you don't have this version, that's okay. You can use whatever font you would like, and it doesn't have to be this fancy, but you still get an awesome template off of this. So you can see that it highlights and gives a little bit more dimension again. I am going to change the color, and I know what color I had for my navy because they had the same checkboard before. And I'm going to highlight and carry it over to the banner, and I'm going to make it larger. Centering it out. And I can actually change it so that I can change the distance with my background. So you can see it got a little darker because I'm bringing the actual backdrop shadow out a little further, so it makes it thicker. It stands out a little bit more. Then if I were going to use this for a new coach, I'm going to leave the bottom part blank because I'm going to leave that for if I need to add a name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save. And I'm going to name it Coach Spotlight. And I am going to add it to my logo and anchor folder. Whatever folder you have on your computer where you can remember where you're putting these. This is my folder that I typically use for my overlays for my team page. So then I'm going to save. And obviously it just saved, and I want to test it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out what I was working on, and I am going to edit, and I'm going to pick a picture. And let's say I was going to use Leisha as a coach that is highlighted. And so what I'll do is that I would then add an overlay. Go to your own and go down to where I just saved that template. And you're going to stretch it so that it fits. And you can either do it that way, or so that you have a background like that, or if it's a picture that is it's smaller or whatnot, you can also go this way, and you could go to design, and you would add on the butterfly your own picture. And let's do that picture of Leisha. And what I could do is have it just in the background and then come back to the overlay, your own, and again pick the template that I used for highlighting my coach, and I want to drag it, or if you want a border like that, you can use it that way too. It's your preference. And you can change, I want to make sure that I think the picture is too big for the background, so I can always change it this way. If I had to edit it and how I had it before, I can't change the size of that picture. So this sometimes is the easier version. But as you can see, I now have some white. So what I need to do is bring up my picture just a little bit. Okay, so now you see that I have her picture highlighted, and I can add a font with the T's, and I can do, let's do a font that everybody has available to them on this one. So I could do and add your text, click on the box, and I'm going to add Leisha. And again, I like to match from the top. So, but this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the font the navy. So I'm going to, and see, you actually have to highlight it. I didn't highlight it. I'm going to make the font the navy. And I'm going to do my effects again on this. And I am going to choose white. So they're the flip-flop version. And you want to grab the corner and drag so it gets bigger. Center it. And then you can change, like I did before, the distance. I can change the angle. So now it's on the opposite side. So her name is really popping. And if I really wanted to, I could also get fancy and I could go back to the butterfly and I can add a few small touches. You can add flares. There's the elements. And so I could add fireworks, or I could add smoke and fire, or I could add sparkles. You can do whichever ones you would like, but it can give it a little bit of pizzazz. And I want her name to stand out more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that to the front. So you're going to right click and you're going to say bring forward or bring to the front. I like to do bring to the front if I know that it's exactly where I want it to be. Bring to the forward just brings it layer by layer. And same thing with sending to back. That's the very back, or send backwards is layer by layer. So now it's up front. And I could save this if I was going to use this, and I could just post it in my groups. So it makes it easy for every time. If I have a coach spotlight every week, I could just pull up the same template and I could just use it so that it's for my team and it's generic. And the biggest effort that I have to spend is adding a picture of a specific coach and adding their name. So I hope this helps you out a lot, and stay tuned because there will be other fun PicMonkey tutorials.